What if I told you that one of the most powerful love stories in Greek mythology began not with a damsel in distress, but with a woman wrestling a lion with her bare hands? In the ancient world of Greece, where gods walked among mortals and heroes shaped destiny, stories weren't just entertainment. They were blueprints for understanding human nature, divine will, and the complex dance between civilization and the wild. These tales, passed down through generations, revealed truths about courage, love, and the price of greatness that still resonate today. Deep in the rugged mountains of Thessaly, where eagles soared above pine forests and wild beasts roamed freely, lived a nymph unlike any other. Her name was Cyrene, and she possessed a spirit as untamed as the wilderness she called home. While other nymphs danced in meadows or sang by streams, Cyrene chose a different path. She was a huntress, a warrior, a force of nature who refused to be confined by expectations. Cyrene wasn't just another beautiful nymph adorning the Greek landscape. She was the daughter of Hypsius, king of the Lapiths, a tribe known for their fierce warriors and their legendary battles against centaurs. This royal blood coursed through her veins, but it was her own choices that defined her character. She rejected the traditional roles assigned to women of her time, instead embracing the hunt, the chase, and the thrill of facing danger head-on. Every dawn found Cyrene scaling rocky cliffs, tracking wild boar through dense underbrush, or practicing her spear work in mountain clearings. Her strength was legendary among the local people, her courage unmatched, even by seasoned hunters. She moved through the wilderness like a force of nature herself, understanding the language of wind through trees and the subtle signs that revealed where predators lurked. But Cyrene's greatest test was yet to come. One fateful morning, as golden sunlight painted the mountain peaks, a terrifying roar echoed through the valleys. A massive lion, its mane dark as storm clouds and its eyes burning with primal fury, had descended from the highest peaks to terrorize the local shepherds. This wasn't just any beast. This lion was enormous, its claws capable of shredding bronze shields, its bite powerful enough to crush bones like twigs. The shepherds fled in panic, abandoning their flocks as the great cat claimed the mountainside as its hunting ground. Warriors gathered in the village below, debating strategies and sharpening weapons, but none dared venture up the treacherous slopes to face such a monster. The beast seemed unstoppable, a living embodiment of nature's raw, destructive power. Cyrene heard the commotion and felt the familiar fire ignite in her chest. While others cowered, she saw opportunity. While men planned and hesitated, she acted. Without weapons, without armor, with nothing but her bare hands and indomitable will, she set out to confront the lion that had struck fear into the hearts of seasoned warriors. The climb to the lion's territory was treacherous. Sharp rocks cut her feet, thorny bushes tore at her clothing, and the thin mountain air burned her lungs. But Cyrene pressed on, driven by something deeper than mere courage. She was driven by purpose, by the need to prove that strength came not from divine blessing or magical weapons, but from the human spirit itself. High above, unknown to Cyrene, another presence watched her ascent with growing fascination. Apollo, god of the sun, music, poetry, and prophecy, had been traveling across the sky in his golden chariot when something extraordinary caught his divine attention. Below, he witnessed a sight that defied belief. A mortal woman, alone and unarmed, was climbing towards certain death to face a beast that had sent armies fleeing. But it wasn't just her courage that captivated the god. It was the grace with which she moved, the determination blazing in her eyes, and the way she seemed to embody both civilized nobility and wild freedom. Gods had seen countless heroes perform mighty deeds, but this was different. Cyrene wasn't seeking glory or treasure. She wasn't fulfilling a prophecy or completing a quest assigned by oracles. She was simply doing what she believed was right, protecting those who couldn't protect themselves, facing danger because someone had to face it. Apollo found himself transfixed, his divine heart stirring with emotions he rarely experienced for mortals. Meanwhile, Cyrene reached the lion's den. The great beast emerged from behind a boulder, its massive frame silhouetted against the sky. For a moment, predator and huntress studied each other, each recognizing a worthy opponent. The lion's muscles rippled beneath its golden coat as it crouched, preparing to spring. Its roar shattered the mountain silence, a sound that would have sent most warriors running for their lives. Cyrene didn't flinch. Instead, she smiled. The battle that followed became the stuff of legend. Woman and beast collided with the force of an avalanche, rolling across the rocky ground in a deadly embrace. The lion's claws raked across stone where Cyrene had been milliseconds before. Her hands found purchase around the creature's throat as its weight pressed down upon her. They grappled and twisted, neither giving ground, both fighting with everything they possessed. Cyrene used her knowledge of anatomy and leverage to counter the lion's brute strength. When it lunged, she sidestepped and used its momentum against it. When it tried to pin her down, she twisted free with movements as fluid as water. Her hands, hardened by years of hunting, gripped the beast's mane and held on despite its thrashing attempts to shake her loose. The struggle continued for what felt like hours. Blood flowed from both combatants, sweat mixed with dust, and the mountain itself seemed to hold its breath. Finally, through a combination of skill, determination, and sheer force of will, Cyrene managed to wrestle the great lion to the ground and hold it there until its struggles ceased. She had done the impossible. A mortal woman had defeated a beast that armies feared to face. As Cyrene stood victorious over her fallen opponent, breathing hard but triumphant, Apollo could contain himself no longer. The god descended from his chariot, his radiant form materializing on the mountainside. His arrival brought warmth to the cold peaks and light to the shadowed valleys, but it was his expression of pure admiration that truly illuminated the scene. Apollo had witnessed heroes slay monsters with divine weapons and magical assistance but never had he seen such raw courage combined with skill and determination. Cyrene embodied everything the gods claimed to value: bravery, excellence, and the refusal to accept limitations. She was magnificent, and Apollo found himself completely enchanted. The god approached carefully, not wanting to startle the warrior who had just accomplished such a feat. When Cyrene turned to face him, their eyes met, and both felt the spark of recognition that transcends mortal and divine boundaries. Apollo saw in her the perfect balance of civilization and wildness, strength and grace. Cyrene saw in him not just divine power, but genuine appreciation for who she truly was. Their courtship wasn't the typical story of a god pursuing a reluctant mortal. Instead, it was a meeting of equals. Two beings who recognized in each other qualities they admired and desired. Apollo didn't need to chase or trick Cyrene into loving him. Her strength had already won his heart, and his recognition of that strength won hers. When Apollo proposed marriage, offering to make Cyrene his bride and queen of a new land, she accepted not out of fear or obligation, but because she saw in him a partner who valued her for exactly who she was. Together, they would travel to North Africa, where Apollo would establish a great city and name it Cyrenaica in her honor. This wasn't just a love story. It was a tale of recognition, of divine appreciation for mortal excellence, and of the power that comes from being true to oneself. Cyrene never needed to change to win Apollo's love. Her courage, her strength, and her fierce independence were exactly what attracted the god to her. The city of Cyrenaica became one of the most important Greek colonies in North Africa, a center of learning, trade, and culture that lasted for centuries. It stood as a testament to the power of courage and the rewards that come to those who dare to be exceptional. Cyrene herself became a symbol of female strength and independence, inspiring countless generations of women to embrace their own power. This myth challenges traditional narratives about women in ancient stories. Instead of being rescued, Cyrene rescues others. Instead of being pursued against her will, she enters into partnership as an equal. Instead of being punished for her unconventional behavior, she's rewarded with divine love and eternal honor. The story of Cyrene reminds us that true strength comes from within, that courage can overcome any obstacle, and that being authentic to ourselves is the greatest gift we can offer the world. In a time when conformity was expected and deviation punished, Cyrene chose her own path and found not just success, but love and immortal fame. Her tale continues to inspire us today, reminding us that the most powerful force in any story isn't divine intervention or magical assistance. It's the human spirit, refusing to accept limitations and daring to wrestle lions with bare hands when the situation demands it.